Good morning, Paul DeMerico, Operations Section Chief with Rocky Mountain Team 1. I'm going to go ahead and start off on the west side of the fire. Yesterday we had a fairly busy day. From this point here from Coral Creek all the way around to the southern end of Red Feather, the community of Red Feather, was looking really, really good yesterday. We did have one small spot fire that got outside the lines, but we did have 70-mile-an-hour winds, so that was to be anticipated. What that means is that we had a really good true test yesterday on that side of the fire. So with all those winds, we had winds up to 76 miles an hour. And if we only had one spot fire, which was about a quarter of an acre or less in size, that tells us that our containment lines are looking really good, and we're feeling really confident about where we stand from Coral Creek to this general location here. Over here by Bel Air Lake, we had a 6-acre spot fire. We engaged that quickly yesterday and suppressed that. We did spend some time on it, mopping it up, and we're feeling really good about where we're at, keeping the fire south of the Manhattan Road. What that does, it continues to protect the communities of Crystal Lakes and Red Feather and Glacier View. We do and will continue to have structure protection resources in those communities for the coming days and the coming weeks, just to ensure that in case of another wind event and an interior island that is unburned, if it does spot, that we have those resources to be able to respond to that. As we move down south and over to the east, as everybody saw, we had a substantial fire activity yesterday. The fire got established with wind, terrain, and fuels, and made a substantial run all the way out to County Road 27. We were able to mostly keep the fire south of the 44H Buckhorn Road. We did get some fire that was north of the Buckhorn Road, but we were able to get resources on that and keep that fairly small and tied it back in. And our main objective for the next day or so is to keep the fire south of the 44H Buckhorn Road and west of the County Road 27. The fire for the next few days, we're going to have some critical winds and fire weather. So we're going to have resources, including structure protection resources, really concentrated in this area in here. The area of Storm Mountain, Cedar Park, the Retreat, Glen Haven, and Estes Park. Our primary objective in this area is structure protection. We've got approximately 47 Type 1 structure engines, over 40 wildland fire engines, and 500 ground personnel scattered throughout this area. What we want to do is that right now we've got a lot of fire activity, but we want to focus on what we can do in the structures and in these communities, while also trying to keep the fire south of the 44H and west of the County Road 27. That's our main priority. We do, and we're hoping that we will have the assistance from aircraft today. That is also dictated by our weather. If there are high winds, we can't fly. We can't fly helicopters. We can't fly air tankers. We don't even have our air attacks up in the air. That really limits our ability to suppress the fire that we're seeing. But also, it limits our ability for, we call it eyes in the sky, and that's our air attack. These folks fly up 10,000 feet above the fire and often guide us and help us and assist us in the tactics that we make on the ground. And when we have high winds, they're not able to fly. We do expect a challenging few days ahead of us, but we have beefed up, and we do feel like we have adequate resources in these areas to do what we can, especially when it comes to structure protection. Thank you.